I, what's really going on? Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at Litecoin, LTC against USDT. Going to be taking a look at some of these key technical aspects of price action moving forward. Going to be assessing some of the pivotal areas of support and resistance I believe we're going to be interacting with in the very near future here. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Do you trade? Do you hold? Or do you let the price action unfold? What are you doing with your bag? If you have one, are you accumulating Litecoin at these levels? Are you bullish? Do you believe we found support or are likely to rally back up to that, $300, $400 per Litecoin that we came from in the not so distant past? Or are you bearish on price action? Do you believe support has yet to be found and we have more downside ahead of us, some lows sub $100 or straight to zero? Let me know your thoughts on the direction of price action down in the comments below. Now, jumping right into it, to kind of recap price action that has interacted with this ascending trend line since the kind of end of October, really. But we have this kind of more relevant range of price action, I do believe, since the kind of 19th of December of 2020 when we interacted with $115 as resistance. And then up until kind of today, where we seem to be kind of making our way down toward that critical level as potential support. So price action on the kind of end of December of 2020 there, we had this little rejection off of that $115 level, but price action was bought up very quickly, gaining the momentum to break through that significant resistance. Daily candle started closing above it, confirming it as potential support, and we were bullish enough to rally to the next resistance found around $177. Rejection from that range sent price action plummeting toward that $115 again. We ended up finding support, bouncing in a very bullish manner, consolidating toward that ascending trend line, and continuing the rally upward. We broke significant resistance at $177 to set that kind of $241 swing high there. Price action interacted with a significant set of sell pressure, and another rejection occurred, setting price action toward potential support at the $177 level. And that ascending trend line, we had some interaction with that as support as well. Price action ultimately was bullish enough to rally back upward, but got rejected from the significant range of resistance around 220 and got slapped back toward 177 as support. Price action was quite bullish, bounced again, plowed through $220 resistance to set some higher highs. So you're looking very bullish. Price action was above that ascending trend line briefly, just to get slapped with another rejection just above $320. And so lots of sell pressure up at these levels, lots of pullbacks were coming, but price action was setting higher highs. We were bouncing off of higher lows. We were finding support at critical ranges, and price action was looking very bullish until a very abrupt change in momentum brought price action plummeting through all this potential support to where this levels that we are currently. Price action breaking downward on the kind of, between the 15th and 17th of May was a tad bearish in the short term. We confirmed this kind of bearish movement, I believe, on the 18th of May with this confirmation as potential resistance at this kind of $320 level. And then the 19th of May, good old 19th of May there, the dreaded, break downward from everything, and we're still seeing that sell-off from that kind of break downward, that aggressive candle that came from like $294 and reached all the way down to $148. A very aggressive sell-off, plowing through all this potential support, sending price action to interact with resistance, I believe, found at that kind of lower zone around $200. Rejections off of that level sent price action through potential support at that $177 level, which I do believe now is going to be very significant resistance moving forward, as we have price action interacting with it as resistance back on the 9th of January there. And we have support found at this levels between the kind of like end of February, beginning of March, and then again at the kind of end of March. But now recently with the 15th and 16th of kind of like June there, we have that rejection confirming it as significant resistance, I do believe, moving forward, sending price action toward this very crucial $115 level. This is going to be potential support moving forward. Price action could very well stay sideways between this range for a period of weeks, perhaps months even, before we can find support and kind of rally back up to these swing highs that we came from not too long ago. Fundamentally, I'm still quite bullish on Litecoin. Price action wants to be bullish. We want to get back up there, although some very technical sell pressure is very much present, and perhaps some more consolidation is necessary. Now, new perspective comes into play when we consider EngineeringRobo along with the fettuccine, zucchini, bikini lines of zucchinis again. We can see price action consolidating toward that my $115 support line, which is correlating with the 0.236 Fibonacci level, suggesting that $115 is going to be a very significant level moving forward. Very strong support could very much be found at this range, or very significant resistance will be found if we do fail to hold. We even have the 0.382 Fibonacci level above us, very close to my $177 resistance. $172 is going to be significant resistance as well, it appears, and so I do believe once price action has found support, we were going to experience some very high sell pressure as we try to get back above $177. Price action below the 200 daily moving average suggesting some very high technical sell pressure, suggesting some more sideways could very much occur. Although, like I said, fundamentally, I do believe we are quite bullish, and a bottom is near. Price action does want to bottom and start coming back up, although very aggressive sell-off on the kind of 19th of May there, we're still kind of coming out of. We have that sell for on the 16th of May, would have protected you from the 19th there. So with that sell for still in play, that does suggest some very high technical bearish pressure, some downside might present itself kind of moving forward if we don't kind of bounce where we are currently. Now, when we consider Litecoin against Bitcoin, we can see new perspective come into play here. A bit of resistance, interaction with resistance at 41.31 Satoshi, sending price action down toward potential support at 37.25 Satoshi. If price action bottoms at that level, that would be a higher low relative to the 22nd and 23rd of June, which would be a tad more bullish in the short term and could suggest that we can find our way back to resistance at 41.25. Breaking that level will send us to this upper range here, below 45.03, but above that 41.31 resistance currently. And so price action, I do believe, will have to kind of break these levels and come back down to them as support as we find our way back to the euphoric highs near this 66.98 Satoshi that we interacted with some very significant resistance before that dreaded May 19th break downward. Now, when we consider EngineeringRobo, along with the fettuccine lines of Illuminati geometry and Illuminati again, you can see a new perspective come into play here. We have the 0.786 line just below that 200 daily moving average currently. I do believe around kind of like 43.18 Satoshi is going to be very significant resistance just above my my current resistance level at 41.31 there. Once we get above that range, we will interact with some very high sell pressure that we will have to build a lot of momentum to kind of break and then perhaps confirm as support. Price action above that 200 daily moving average, we could be more bullish in the kind of like midterm and even long term once we get back above it. But as price action is consolidating below, we can expect some very high sell pressure and perhaps some more kind of downside still. We have the 19th of May finally triggering a sell for on price action. We were looking very bullish against the price of Bitcoin, but a very abrupt change in momentum occurred, and so that sell for was printed, and now we still seem to be seeing that sell-off from the dreaded 19th of May there. Lots of resistance ahead, I do believe. We have the 0.618 line at 51.06 Satoshi, all the way to the 0.5 Fibonacci line at 56.86 Satoshi as very significant resistance. We will have to plow through and find our way above, and then once we get above there, there's a 0.382 level at 62.45 Satoshi. There's my resistance at 66.91. And then just above that is the 0.236 Fibonacci line at 69.34. So, like I said, plenty of resistance ahead of us. I do believe we will have to kind of, step up and come back down to it as support, solidifying a healthy uptrend rather than a kind of like vertical climb through all of this. Right now, very high sell pressure, technical sell pressure on the underside of this 200 daily moving average. Once we get up to it, we will likely experience a little bit of rejections off of it. Although fundamentally we could be very much bullish enough to find our way back above this kind of any time now. I do believe bottom is approaching. Now, lots going on. Litecoin in a very pivotal state. Will we find support? Price action looking a tad bearish against the price of Bitcoin. When we consider Bitcoin against USDT, we can see price action interacting with this 32K level here. Price action seems to be bouncing, I guess, like maybe like a few dollars just above my support level there. A higher low relative to a lot of these swings. We even have today's candle at this very moment, perhaps engulfing yesterday's candle. If this closes, above the open of the previous candle, we could perhaps consider that more bullish in the short term, and perhaps a relief rally or some more short-term upside might occur to get us into these kind of upper ranges here. When we consider EngineeringRobo, along with the Fibonacci lines of fettuccine, we can see new perspective come into play here. That 0.5 Fibonacci line has been the the deciding factor of price action for the last kind of couple weeks here. $34,318.07 per Bitcoin is going to be very critical moving forward. Price action, as I was mentioning, is a tad engulfing ever so slightly the previous daily candle, and so say we get up to this 0.5 line, if we get slapped off of it and get sent back toward 32K, I do believe that might be bearish enough to break 32K and send us to potentially this 0.382 Fibonacci line at 27,100. Price action could very well bounce and recover very aggressively, find a way above the 0.5 Fibonacci line. I do believe we will very much likely have to come back down to it to confirm it as support, as that is going to be a very critical level moving forward. Once we find support at that range and we get a little bit of upside, we will interact with some very significant resistance at the 0.618 Fibonacci line. $41,500 per Bitcoin is going to be a very significant sell range, I do believe, in addition to wherever the 200 daily moving average is. The underside of this moving average is going to be a very high kind of sell area. We'll most likely experience some significant rejections off of that range, and we'll likely have to break above and then come back down to it as support. And so Bitcoin in a very critical state at the moment. Lots of volatile price action, very tight and crazy sideways. Lots of conflicted opinions here. I do believe a bottom is approaching. I do think we are still quite bullish. The demand for Bitcoin is very high at this level, even though we have this very high technical sell pressure. We're coming out of very euphoric all-time highs. We have that sell 4. You have price action below the 200 daily moving average. We're down. You get 50-ish% from the kind of all-time highs, and so right now there's a lot of mixed opinions, mixed feelings on the direction of Bitcoin. Some saying we're entering a bear market. Some saying the bull market has just begun. Let me know your thoughts on the direction of price action down in the comment section below. Will we bottom out here? Will we find a way back above the 0.5 Fibonacci line? Can we break 34,000? Can we hold 32,000? Like I said, let me know your thoughts. Where do you think price action is going? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hearing my analysis. Try EngineeringRobo free with a link in the description. Subscribe here on YouTube. Check out all the other social media down below. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Let me know in the comments down below. Are you accumulating in these levels? Did you sell your whole bag? Do you think Bitcoin is headed to 100K and plus, or are we heading back to zero? Thank you for tuning in, and tune in for the next one.